Mr. Speaker, the government is quick to point out Nova Scotia's high record population in 2019. What isn't addressed, though, is the bulk of those who have immigrated or migrated from other provinces settled in Sydney and Halifax. All counties except HRM reported more deaths and births between July 2018 and June 2019. Rural areas of this province not only seek new residents, we desperately need them. And the current programs like the Atlantic Immigration Pilot and Occupations in Demand Pilot lack sufficient enticements for immigrants to settle where they desperately are needed the most in rural Nova Scotia. What's the government's plan to encourage newcomers to settle in the areas where they're desperately needed in rural Nova Scotia?
The Honourable Minister of Immigration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to the member for that question. First, let me thank the staff at the Nova Scotia Office of Immigration for the great work they're doing. I also want to thank this government and this Premier for making immigration a priority when we came into power. The member's quite right. We are growing our population, and we are working hard across the province, including Cape Breton and including all of the rural areas, to attract newcomers. I'm very pleased with the reports of yesterday that Sydney, for the first time, it's increasing its population through the international students. Very pleased with the work that we're doing, and members are also doing with the Cape Breton University and all the partners in that municipality. Thank you.
The Honourable Member for Cape Breton Richmond.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, and I thank the Minister for her response, but unfortunately we're not seeing the gains that we need through the programs that are available in rural Nova Scotia and constituencies such as Cape Breton Richmond. I applaud my colleagues across the floor for increasing the population in Sydney, but that is an urban environment. In fact, population decline was the fastest in Guysborough County, followed by Shelburne, Queens, Victoria, Cumberland, Digby, Inverness, Pictou, and Richmond. We need to reverse this. Mr. Speaker. So again, what is the government doing in rural Nova Scotia communities to make certain that those newcomers that are here and people who are migrating from other provinces not only are placed in those communities, but they stay and they settle on a long term?
The Honourable Minister of Immigration.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you again for that question. Let me remind the member and all colleagues that 10 out of 18 counties have increased their population this past year. Let me also remind everybody that we also have the Atlantic Immigration Pilot, and through that program alone, 40% that are using it of employers are outside the Halifax municipality. Thirdly, with the time that I have, I want to also remind everybody that last March 20th, we launched the Francophone Immigration Action Plan. And through the work of that plan, we are increasing our Francophone population in the province. And I'm happy to report that people are going throughout the entire province. We will continue to work with our employers, with our businesses, with our settlement partners, and with all municipalities to increase our population and grow our communities throughout the entire province.